I go towards the spooky face.
Oh,
So the divine sense?
I'm asking Galarian what it does while I send messages.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, I had to Google it real quick. I'm gonna saw myself the voice activity right quick.
Oh, that's fair. At least your keyboard doesn't go clickety clackety when you're trying to send freaking secret messages.
No, wait. I did that.
I'm not using a keyboard. I'm a mobile.
Okay, I will need anybody who's actively looking
Okay.
around at the stairs they're
Oh my
stepping on
god.
a perception.
I can't believe. Oh my god. Why is everything so fucked?
Did it crash again?
Yeah, like everything's just suddenly going really.
Yikes. Uh, since
I'm
I
looking
was
at.
since I was taking in the general atmosphere, I presume I would be eligible for this perception check.
Yes, please. Whoever
Okay,
came into this
so
room looking.
I
Okay, one
got it
second,
now.
Galarian. Yes.
It says the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good music rings like heavenly music into your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. I know the type of any being whose presence I sense, but not its identity.
Well, since you said music for holy,
And
you hear.
within the same radius, you can also detect if the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Well, you can feel that the floor beneath you has been consecrated, and you hear very, very faint orchestra music in your ears.
You could
But
also.
you cannot sense any beings nearby.
Well, about that. Uh, Space Pony
So
is celestial.
Well, okay, you sense the space pony very clearly.
So, I got a 25, 27 if I'm allowed to cast guidance.
I'm gonna disallow the guidance for reasons.
Alright, fair enough.
Actually, I will say you try to cast guidance, and something is inhibiting you from guidance.
Curious.
But
uh,
the floor that you are walking on, the endless stairs, as you get deeper, more and more frost covered vines seem to be covering the floor.
I'm also going to make mention how the very fort itself is seems to have been consecrated a while, who knows how long ago.
It's been a while, but it was consecrated.
Those stairs, what are they made of?
They are
Stairs.
made of solid stone.
Okay.
You can possibly see that they are granite, but they're very
See,
fancy stairs.
and then the
Stairs are
walls,
made of stairs.
and then the walls around us are also made of stone?
The walls you don't see. You only see staircase.
Okay. Well, she will bend down and look at the vines.
You see a
The
Curious.
bunch of seven
vines.
second videos.
Do you touch the vines?
Yeah, she will reach out and touch one of
The
them.
vines avoid your touch no matter how hard you try.
Try again. Do it for the vine.
I will
Fascinating.
need a. Why don't we go a sleight of hand if you want to try to touch the vines more than just casually trying?
Sure, let's go ahead and use my massive sleight of hand. Yee!
You do not touch the vines. In fact, you almost fall on your nose trying.
She gets up. Curious.
In fact, you notice that wherever you step, the vines are moving to avoid you in complete silence.
She looks over at Mythos. Uh, Mythos is plant-based though, right?
You'd have to ask.
No,
Oh, okay.
I may look it, but I'm not.
Okay. She looks over at Mythos. Pardon the presumption, but would you happen to be one of those plant folk?
Oh, no, I have no relation to the foreign people.
Ah, very good then. She looks
I
at
mean, I
around
think
the
he was
vine.
talking faction, but
Would any of you happen to be rather swift? Perhaps these vines are part of the key of getting out of our endless exodus into the dark.
Suppose I can try. What are we doing?
We'll need a sleight of hand to try to catch the vines
Well, there are these
that are on the floor.
ice-covered vines I noticed, and in attempting to touch them, they evade me.
She points you down to the floor, Ethereal, and you see the vines that she's talking about.
Yes,
She is asking you to try and touch.
I rolled an 18.
Oh yeah, there's the roll. You successfully touch for a split second a vine, and as soon as you touch it, it retracts all the way down to where you can't see it anymore.
So it's
There
you're
are
on.
still more vines on the floor, but one is gone.
So the staircase
Has an end.
the staircase goes down, and on either side of the staircase, it just drops off into nothingness.
As far as you can tell. But as you touch the vine, it retracts until you can't see it anymore, assumingly to the bottom.
Would any of you happen to have the ability to create light?
Yes, I have dancing lights.
I was thinking more of setting something on light and then tossing it down there. I don't think dancing lights will work for that purpose.
Yeah, I don't have any torches.
Well, I have a couple. I'm just hesitant. She looks over at Mythos
I don't have anything to make light.
and Celosia. Do you happen to have anything?
oh, let me check my.
Like, not really much use for
No.
one such as me when I can see in the dark.
Oh,
Nothing
I'm
that
not-
wouldn't make fire.
Speaking of your dark vision doesn't seem to be able to pierce very far into this darkness.
tell me,
As long as I can see when I'm
Before.
stepping.
tell me, do your wings work down here?
I mean, by Wednesday.
They're not
Well,
magical, so they
Well, I discovered I'm unable to channel one of my minor spells, which was mildly concerning. Perhaps if you would be willing, you could perform some reconnaissance. Go off the side of the stairs and go down just a little bit to see what's down there, and then come back.
Slocia
Actually, you know, now,
is.
I'm actually curious now. I'm going to look behind us, see if we can actually, if we're far enough down that we can't even see the light from the doorway anymore, or
You look behind you. There doesn't seem to be any evidence that you've went up or down, and there's no doorway.
okay, so it's not like Super Mario where it's like you go forever upward, but then you take like 2 steps down and you're back on the floor.
No.
Celosia is going to take off her glaive, hand it to Ethereal, and
Ooh.
tell her not to let Annabelle have it.
Okay, sweet.
Then she's going to try and fly down.
Fly down or left or right?
Well, the idea was flying down, was it not?
Yeah. Would you like to,
Okay.
would you like a torch? I think I have a couple.
I do as well. So.
Okay.
Do you give her a torch?
I'll light my own. I'll light one of my own.
Okay, Celestia, do you fly down?
I do.
Celestia disappears into the darkness, flying down a little while. You lose sight of her very quickly, and then you regain sight of her behind you.
Oh. Neat.
She comes behind you with a torch, having gone down.
What's behind you?
Hmm.
The torch is not very good at piercing the darkness and barely gives much insight into what's happening here.
Annabelle will take a small little bone off of her outfit and drop it over the edge.
Which one, left or right?
We'll go left.
It appears on the right, falling from the sky, assumedly, falling from upper darkness on the right.
She will pick it up and she will toss it down the stairs forward.
It smacks you in the back of the head.
You know, I'm going to swap to my physical dice.
She's going to narrow her eyes a bit. She's going to attempt to cast another spell.
What's the spell?
I'm going to try create bonfire.
Please tell me the components for that spell.
It is verbal and somatic, I believe. Don't think there's a material component. I mean, I have a focus, so I don't need to worry about it anyways. But
You
if it's
attempt-
relevant somatic, I'm just imagining it's like the somatic things is just hallelujah hot foot.
You attempt to do your spell. It does not work. It almost works, but fails.
yeah, it's verbal and somatic.
Yep, okay. Then it fails, yes.
That almost worked.
Can you quickly tell me for the thing you were casting before guidance, what the components of that are? I think I got it right, but I need to make sure.
Yeah. Guidance is. Guidance is. Wait, one more. Yeah, verbal and somatic.
Okay, yes, that one also doesn't work. What do you do? So far, the only thing you've accomplished is making a single vine out of quite a few disappear somehow.
I don't know. Smacking yourself with the torch is kind of impressive.
Could I see your torch for just a moment?
Yes.
She will take the torch, and there's a bunch of vines in on the steps in front of us, correct?
They're behind you, in front of you, yes, everything.
Okay.
Except for the
Sure.
one that's gone now.
She will toss the torch just a little bit in front of her, not enough to have it loop around, but just a little bit to try and see if it lands on any vines.
The vines very violently react and very clearly make a path around the torch as it lands. You touch no vines, but there is a big circle of no vine.
Not to confuse with poor vine.
I was trying to figure out a way to put that in. Oh wait, Novine, the ship.
Oh yeah.
Oh, somebody got the reference. I mean, what? There wasn't a reference there. But yes, no vine. The vines are not there.
Be right
Where
back
the
for a
torch
moment.
is.
It's funny. I actually went through all my spells to note their various
Be right back
components,
for a couple minutes.
Okay.
but I did not pay attention to anything that wasn't a material component. Let's see
What?
here.
Ooh, you have
Oh,
figured out
that's-
vines don't like being touched, and when you do touch them, they retract.
Well, I would love to try and set them on fire. Is anybody feeling particularly dexterous? Maybe we can just run around grabbing them.
They are covered in frost. From a quick glance, you could say that they're pretty much frozen, and catching them on fire is not the best idea. Because it won't work.
Okay, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Annabelle has figured out that setting these vines on fire is nigh impossible.
I'm going to try to go for a grab again. For a vine.
There are 13 vines left. Make another sleight of hand.
Alright, I'm using my physical dice.
Okay?
Oh, what does a nat 20 land me?
You end up grabbing one with each of your hands. They're both gone as soon as you touch them.
Like, was I able to get a firm grip or no?
Nope, they disappeared as soon as an atom of your touched them. Like, the absolute millisecond.
I mean, when you
Now, I just
really
want
get down
to ask for clarification. Did they vanish or did they retreat?
Retreat pretty much at the speed of light. That
Okay.
kind of retreat. Seemingly downwards.
Well,
Let me see something. I'm going to walk upwards.
There are less vines than when you walked downwards the first time, but you're still... You,
Do I have to pop up in front of the party suddenly
do.
or no?
You do.
alright.
But I will note that since the two more vines are gone, it takes longer for you to loop.
I'm going to try an
Huh.
experiment because I'm curious about something. Annabelle will pull out a little X-Acto knife and she'll say, "Oh, no worries, just trying a small experiment," and she will cut herself.
What do you do with this cut?
It's a bold choice.
Doing 2 damage to myself. And actually, first she's going to try and flick some of the blood towards one of the vines, see what happens.
The vine catches the blood and absorbs it.
Fascinating.
I'm going
Then-
to I'm going to reach for more vines.
And then I'm going to try casting Healing Word, which is only a verbal component.
What does a 19 get me?
Okay, OC, repeat yourself, and I'll get to you in a second, Clarion. What did you try after flinging the blood?
I cast Healing Word, which is only verbal. No somatic.
Healing word works.
Uh-huh. Well, it appears.
The vine seems to glow a little bit after absorbing a bit of blood, but it quickly fades into the darkness that it was before.
So it seems that spells with purely verbal components can be used, but anything with somatic fails. Do any of you have purely verbal spells that could be used to perhaps interact with these vines?
I'm gonna pause you right there, Annabelle. Laren, you're 19. Gets you another vine. There are 10 left. And Annabelle, well, you can continue.
You know, I have a feeling it's gonna be but yeah, that's basically what she said. Does anybody happen to have a purely vocal spell that could perhaps be used to interact with these things?
After every single time I grab a vine, I'm going to every time I grab a vine, I'm going to go down the stairs.
Every
And take-
vine that disappears, it takes a little bit longer for you to loop.
And I'm going to turn to the others and say, each time one of these things goes away, it takes longer, and I noticed it took longer for me to come back than it did last.
Well, then perhaps the solution is simple, just simply to clear them out. I wish I had
Probably
some
the
sort
best option.
I wish I had a magical solution to this, but unfortunately everything I have requires a somatic component.
Well, let's all start grabbing vines.
Yay.
Alright.
Since you guys have dedicated yourself to grabbing vines, I'll just take a roll from all of you, and it'll be a group effort.
All right. What sort of roll?
It's a sleight of hand.
Okay.
So individual rolls won't be grabbing vines. If it's a good enough total, will be what I'll do here.
I got 4. Sorry, 5.
5, okay? Okay.
This is our garden now.
I got a 20 total, not a natural 20, but a 20 total.
Very good that you did, otherwise this entire party would have failed.
The dice
You
roll.
managed, after a little bit of wrestling around on the floor, to grab all of these vines. They all disappeared. And what do you know? The unnatural darkness fades, the cold is still there, and you see a doorway about 2 steps in front of you.
Well, that was interesting. Apologies, I wasn't able to provide more assistance. It is a little difficult to be catching vines in this particular dress. As a side note, she actually is wearing the dress as depicted earlier. It looks like she's ready to go to the opera or something like that.
It is no matter. What's important is that we got them all.
Well, far be it from us to be foolish. She will put her ear near the door and see if she can hear anything through it.
I need a perception for that one.
Sure. 24.
A 24. You hear nothing. It is almost dead quiet.
And there's silence on the other end.
Well then, I suppose I should take the lead then.
I will stay in the back.
And I'll open the door.
Give me just a second.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody walk their diners. I knock on the door, it me, Goku.
Okay. Upon opening the door, wait, instead of being able to open the door, I need a strength check from you.
Okay. $22.
22. You violently crash the door open, and on the other side, you hear the shattering of ice as the door swings open, and you entered an ice-covered room. It would seem that this was a wine cellar at one point.
And I turn to it seems I don't know my own strength.
Hmm. Well, Annabelle will step in and look around. I assume it's quite dark in here.
Quite dark, and you still, despite the looping thing, you are quite deep into the ground. Due to it being a desert outside and them needing some natural cooling along with other cooling.
So if this is a wine cellar, are there like wooden shelves and all that jazz?
Yes, I'll give you the description of the room right now. Opening the door, the entire room is covered in a very thick layer of very spiky, dangerous-looking eyes. You see rows upon rows of stacked barrels in various degrees of disrepair. You see a chandelier in the ceiling. Apparently, this was a very fancy wine cellar. The chandelier is very much not going to work, and all the candles are missing. The barrels rows are to the right, and to the left of the door, you see what looks to be ice machines, for what you can tell. They're no longer working, and they're all frozen over. But you see very neatly cubed ice spilled out from them.
And you said there was a lot of very dangerous looking what again?
Ice. The ice is not exactly smooth. It's all spiky.
Okay, gotcha.
As if someone had casted a powerful ice spell.
Okay, I will cast Create Bonfire on the chandelier.
Does not work.
As in, the spell doesn't happen?
It almost works just like it did on the stairs.
Okay. She frowns. Well, that's disappointing. Very well. She will get out her bullseye lantern and light it and look into the room.
Oh yeah, this.
With the light in the room, you see some frosty plant tentacles on the ceiling, all leading to a single barrel. The barrel is looking at you.
Looking as in it has eyes.
As in looking, with eyes, and a very open, hungry-looking mouth. Passive perception, Clint.
Yes.
These vines are approaching your behind via the ceiling, the wall behind you, and approaching the floor. They are creeping behind you.
Insert overused meme here.
So there's a big ol'... You said there's a big old barrel hanging from the ceiling?
It's about the same size as every other barrel, but it's looking at you. And it has plant-like tentacles, whatever you call them, vines.
Gotcha.
And they're coming
Vines
towards
coming
us.
out of it. And Clint, or Ethereal, can tell you that they are approaching you from behind.
Yep.
That is going to be initiative.
One initiative coming right up.
And I will get the pen and paper and be right there. Hey DM, do you mind if I use real dice? No, I don't mind if you use real dice. That way the players won't know what you rolled. Thanks, DM.
To be fair, I use those dice in the game all the time. I cast guidance.
Of course.
No, I'm just kidding.
Change your name to iCast Guidance, please.
It's a reflex at this point.
Look, if there's one thing I've learned from DMing 5th edition, particularly clerics, is I cast guidance.
Always remember to cast guidance.
None of my clerics have guidance.
This is in fact my fundamental failing as a cleric, as I keep.
Ray? Oh. Well then. Insert evil laugh or defeated sigh. You'll never know.
Oh. Apparently I couldn't change my nickname.
That nat 20 was your roll, right? Ethereal?
Initiative, yeah.
Cool, cool. Unfortunately, you do not go first.
What?
Neum, apparently.
Gotta go fast.
Can everybody tell me their initiative? I got Ethereal. Celiosa, what was your initiative?
Velocia?
17.
17. Did anybody else get higher than a 17?
No, Glare and I both got a 15, it looks like.
Which one of you would like to go first? I'm not going to bother with roll-offs. Galarian or OCE, which one of you would like to go first?
Ladies first.
As a healer, I
Also,
like
it's OC. Your name changes because the name was too long. That's why you couldn't do it.
as a healer, I like to go last. That way I can react to what's going on. So, after you, my good gentleman.
I'm Animal Farnsworth. This is my reaction to this fight. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Also, I cast guidance. Yeah, I would. You can go first. I'd like to go. I'd like to go later.
All right.
So I have Ethereal with a 24, Celosia with a 17, Mythos and Annabelle with a 15. Who am I missing?
I
Oh, I
believe-
counted Snow as one of my players. That's why I think I'm missing one.
Oh dear.
Where's your character?
All right. So now roll for initiative.
Okay. And Vex, did you?
Oh, Snow is in the chat. Okay. For some reason, I didn't see it. and I was like,
Yes,
"Oh,
please
reaction."
do that. The former.
Snow is indeed a character.
Poorly written one. Well, give me just a sec. Behind the scenes, things are happening.
Enemy movement. Or whatever it is.
The vines are doing vine things.
Well, it don't in XCOM it says like enemy movement or something like that when it's the enemy's turn to move and do stuff.
Alien activity. That's what's happening right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now that I got all that, let me.
So I have to ask Derp, have you felt quite vexed that you haven't been able to participate yet?
That's a bold assumption on your part.
Unless I just wanted to make the pun.
So. Vex is entirely correct. Alien activity happens because Nat 20s happened. And those Nat 20s outdid yours,
Aww.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
And I will repeat, multiple Nat 20s happened.
That would explain the DM's reaction of, huh. Okay then.
So, The barrel will move closer to the party. And Annabelle, please make a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
As a few of the vines come up behind you and wrap around your ankles.
17.
You narrowly escape the grasp of the vines that you can now definitely feel and are very cold. The Ethereal, you also make a dexterity saving throw.
Yay!
As you may have guessed, DC 16. You made it. You very easily escape the grasp of the vines. Much more easily than Annabelle did, barely escaping.
I mean, I got a +1 to that thing, so.
And the last thing. Celiosa, you feel vines grasping at your antlers. From the ceiling. I will also need a dexterity save from.
That's not good.
No, it is not.
With that, a vine wraps around each of your antlers and pulls you off the ground. You are grappled and considered prone despite being lifted into the air.
Can I still swing?
You can swing.
Okay.
And with that, Ethereal, your turn. One of your friends is being suspended in the air by vines. And the barrel has clawed way over to you. Has somehow moved over to you. I can't describe the movement.
Huh.
The barrel now is 40 feet away. I should have mentioned how the distance, but 40 feet away. It was 50. It moved 10.
I am going to double check something. This is not what I wanted to double check, but I'll need that too.
You have true sight, yes?
Yes.
With your true sight, you see several other things in the room. For now, dormant.
Define several other things.
Several other living things that may or may not be threats, but are for now dormant. They seem to be in the shape of small, little humanoids.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. No, not what I wanted. Ah, neat. So I have a thing called a spell tool, which means I don't need any components other than the tool itself to cast the spell.
Your spell works.
Yay, I cast Burning Hands
Is that a,
On
on the barrel that is shuffling towards us.
Okay.
is that your custom item, or is that
His custom item, yes.
No,
That's his custom.
this is not my
Wait, no,
custom
that's
item.
not him.
This is part of my class.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm stupid.
A homebrew artificer variant. So I'm gonna actually walk closer so that it's within range. And then I'm going to cast Burning Hands as one of my bracelets suddenly shoots forth fire. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Or any creature within a 15-foot cone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
DC?
The DC is 14? Yes.
One tiny humanoid figure does not make it. The rest do.
Misses. Half damage on? Yeah, half damage on the successful save.
Roll damage, please.
$11 fire damage.
5 fire damage. Everything being in frost seems to render your fire damage a little bit weaker than it should be.
Fair enough.
Okay. The humanoid wakes up from being touched by fire. Does not enjoy that. It lets out a little squeal of anger, which in turn wakes up all the other little humanoids, which now can be seen as tiny gnomes wearing gardening pots, like little clay pots as hats.
Oh, good morning. Hope you don't mind being heated up.
They have very, very large teeth.
Apes. Is it getting toasty in here?
No, baby, it's just you.
Oh, sweet.
Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Got it. This is what you see waking up. Just replace the red hat with a little plant pot.
A gnome puking out rainbows. Get it.
No, the thing above it. It very much seems to be made out of clay. Or porcelain. Same thing. But for now, you see 3. Is that your turn, Ethereal?
Yes.
Celiosa! Your turn! You're being suspended in the air by vines.
Alright. Well. Yeah, she has like a polearm axe for a glaive. And 2 attacks, so she is...
Did you ever take your glaive back?
I thought
You
you
handed
did.
it off to a party member beforehand.
She can summon it to her.
Okay.
So yeah, she just twists the belt and just slices at the first vine.
Okay, I need an attack roll.
Natakarole.
Uh-oh. She really does not want what's coming next.
Get it.
Yeah.
What are crits in this system?
Your first crit is just double dice and double modifier.
Okay.
Okay, you do 18 damage. One vine holding you falls limp.
Is it dead?
It's in many pieces.
Oh wait, no, that's the other. That's my barbarian. Okay. So I'm going to attack again.
Okay. Okay, roll your damage. The vine looks pretty damaged, but still yet holds you into the air.
And as a bonus action,
You just don't like vines, do you?
I know what happens next.
Okay. The vine falls apart as you crash into the floor, taking...
And can I use my move action to slow him?
No, when you're grappled, you lose all your move. You just ended your grapple by attacking.
4 damage.
4 damage. That's a lot for falling a few feet. Okay.
Wait,
Well-
wouldn't it be 10 feet that it starts?
Yeah, the rules, I believe, the first 10 feet are ignored, and then it's d6 for every 10 feet after that.
I know the rules, but I say falling damage applies on all falling.
I mean, that's fair.
So don't
just figured-
jump.
Jump is fine, but you were suspended pretty high into the ceiling. You were like 6 or so feet in the air. So I'm gonna say that does damage, because I know how 6 feet falls. Because I really never liked, hey, you can jump 10 feet just fine, knowing how far 10 feet actually is.
You've fallen 10 feet, you said.
I have
There's
fallen
also-
off my back 10 feet.
There's also probably a question of readiness if you're coming out of a grapple, but we probably spent enough time on this already.
Yeah. You were kind of suspended in the air against your will, and you just cut yourself without thought.
Alright, she.
But yeah, 4 damage.
Well, and also my thing is more better probably to take the 4 damage than to be grappled by
Yes.
this thing.
Can I use my move action to get up?
You can next turn.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All of you make a perception to see and hear what's about to happen next.
$19 for me.
Okay? Tell me if you get a 15 or better. Actually, no, it shouldn't be that high. Tell me if you get a 10 or better.
I did a little bit better.
That's a little bit better. Celiosa and Mythos, please roll.
Perception.
Okay. Mythos? Has everything broken again for you? That is unfortunate, but we will continue and hope you come back. So, on a shelf, one of the presumed wine barrels opens his eyes and with a very loud growl screams, "Food!" and jumps on top of this other barrel that you are trying to fight right now. He is making his attacks. Well then. I'm gonna roll this guy in chat for y'all. One of his attacks does dabblage.
I appreciate one is a tenth of what the other one was.
This thing takes a very vicious and presumably poisonous, by the drips coming out of its mouth, bite out of this plant barrel thing. Plant barrel thing does not look too happy about having another mimic on top of itself. That is this newcomer's turn. I will say that neither of these barrels look very happy.
As happy as barrels can look.
This barrel that just attacked this other barrel seems almost feral and as if it would kill you after it's done killing this thing. Also, give me just a sec. Several more gnomes appear out of the darkness. There are now 6 gnomes on the battlefield. One plant mimic thing and one barrel mimic.
Are the gnomes friendly?
They are definitely not friendly, and they are kind of covered in blood.
Have you seen those teeth?
We got this.
Okay. The gnomes are not yet close enough to do anything, but they look as if they could tear you to shreds if enough of them jump on top of you, so you should probably not do that. Anyway, Mythos, are you back? I heard something.
So,
Mythos?
what's going on?
Hey, Mythos is back. A mimic jumped on top of the other mimic that you were fighting and took a very large nom. Neither mimic likes their situation. And there are 3 more gnomes joining the party.
Bloodthirsty gnomes everywhere.
Yes.
So these gnomes are trying to kill us?
They're trying to kill everything.
And
But yes.
what did the others do?
Annabelle almost tripped, but then I forget what. Wait, it's not Annabelle's turn yet. That's why she hasn't
Correct,
done
I
anything.
got you, Mythos.
Ethereal did a slightly unsuccessful but partly successful fire attack that woke up 3 gnomes. Then Celiosa cut herself from the vines, fell on the ground, took 4 damage. And then the other mimic joined the party and glomped the other bad mimic. Well, I did say both of them look like they would kill you after they finish their battle. But, and then, Mythos, it's your turn. One mimic is biting another mimic who's not, and then there's a lot of gnomes around.
Yeah, if the gnomes look like they're going to try and kill us, I'm gonna go after one of those gnomes.
There is a gnome within 20 feet of you.
Alright, let me see what my... Well, I'm going to go strike that.
Strike the earth with your shovel.
This really is a gardening session. God, can you just not hit my creatures sometimes? I make their ACs
No.
unreasonable for a reason.
Refusal.
But you hit the gnome. I'm not gonna
Ex-
bother rolling damage for you. I'm not gonna bother having you roll damage. The gnome falls apart.
Extra attack. Is there another one for an extra
There is
attack?
not another one close enough for an extra attack.
Okay.
They are approaching from all corners of the room. This was one that approached the corner near the door that you came in. This was the only one that you could reach. The rest are partially behind the barrels, and some approaching the two barrels that are fighting in the middle.
All right.
Is that your turn, or do you have anything else you'd like to do?
That's pretty much my turn.
Annabelle, it is your turn to do something.
Okay. Well, I checked, and all of my spells but one require a thematic component. So, since I have been thoroughly defanged, I
I'm
will
sorry,
reach up.
Lucy.
What?
I'm sorry, Lucy.
It's alright. I'm not that upset. It's just more like a oh, well then.
This mimic is special, and you'll find
Well-
out after it dies what happened.
Well, on the bright side, the one spell I can cast is Healing Word. Because even Cure Wounds has a somatic component, but I can still cast Healing Word, and that's what's important.
You have an Exacto knife, go stab it!
I'm not gonna get close to that thing, so instead,
It's a mimic. They're part box.
she's gonna reach up, do the choker that's around her neck, and pull a small stone and put it, and then fling that at the mimic.
And this does...
This is a sling.
Roll an attack.
Mechanically speaking, this is a sling with a Ruby of the War Mage attached to it.
Yeah. You go roll that attack, it's totally gonna hit. Yeah. You hit the ceiling behind you instead of the mimic in front of you.
Look, now is not the time for trick shots.
She just sort of looks at that. I see.
You
And
kind
she'll-
of missed really badly.
She will reattach her choker and pull out her little Exacto knife.
I do believe Ciliosa's missing some HP if you want to healing word her.
But just a small amount, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a small amount.
4 hit points.
Yeah, I don't have spells.
Okay.
For it, so
Okay, is that your turn?
let me check real quick. I'm just checking to see if Healing Word gets my ability score to the healing.
I think it does.
Yeah, I think it does too, but I'm not 100%.
I believe it does, and I'm gonna go under the assumption that it does because it's dumb if it doesn't. So even if it doesn't, it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Because right now there's not any major damage being done to any of the party members. So yeah, I'll stop this
Okay.
now.
It is the barrels and the plant's turn. The one beast that is somehow two beasts. It is going to bite. This one I will rude. It will bite. It will bite. Dice, you stay on the table. I said table! It will do... It will strike the barrel that bit it for... For a total of... 23 damage. This mimic that just got bit after biting the mimic that bit it does not look happy. Not that it looked happy before. It now looks less happy. And the vines have not given up on tripping you, Annabelle. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
I will make a dexterity saving throw.
DC 16. You once again narrowly avoid tripping and falling on your face. The problem is, the vines have... another set of vines have targeted you. Make another one.
Praise be to Kelmbor, for the moment, anyways. Let's see if I switch to my physical dice. Oh no, Kelmbor's finally abandoned me. 13 total.
You missed.
That was a saving throw, though.
Missed. I mean, you failed.
Yeah.
It's same thing. Same result. Didn't work. Roll no worky.
Well,
But, 2 vines grasp at your legs and pull. You fall on your face.
You missed the area where the vines aren't.
You are considered grappled and prone.
very good.
And the last set of vines will go for... Gosh, Snow is not a player. Gosh dang it. Galarian, Mythos. This 2 vines are grabbing for your legs.
Okay.
I need a dexterity saving.
Dexterity?
Dexterity.
Little counter to that. Can I, use strength and just to try to
Can
see
you-
if I can just hold my footing?
Can you what? I couldn't hear you. You're very muffled right now.
I think he wants to see if he can use athletics to hold his footing instead.
Ah. Sure. I will say you are extremely muffled. Like, you sound like you're far away from the mic. But sure, go ahead. That is not good enough.
That's a 4 in the dice. Oof.
You don't fall, but you are grappled. You cannot move as of right now. And the barrel plant's turn is done. It is Ethereal, your turn.
Hold on 1 second. My computer's trying to do things and it shouldn't be doing it.